Welcome to this tutorial. I'm going to show you today how to insert a shape into Photoshop and then select just that area of the screen so that you're actually inserting an image into a shape, and add some special effects like this shadowing effect. So let's get started. We need to begin by opening an image. So File on the menu, come down to Open. Remember, pause this video regularly so that you can keep up. So open up, navigate to where you've saved your images, and let's say I will start with this image today. So I've now got an image, and down the bottom right hand corner you'll see that it is locked. That's why when it starts it should always be locked, and what we should do first is make a copy of that. So do a right click and duplicate that layer. That means then opens up a new one, and we'll save that as Pangolin. Go. So we've got an image layer now. We've got one that's been locked, so if we make any mistakes we want to go back to the original, we've still got that. So on our Pangolin layer now, we need to add what's called an adjustment layer. So coming down here to this icon, it's a circle with like a half moon in it. Click on that once and come up to pattern. So let's start with a pattern for our fill. Click on pattern, and you can choose a pattern that you like. There's a few there to choose from, so it's entirely up to you. Let's start with that one. And the next step is to drag this adjustment layer down below Pangolin layer. So let's click on that once with your mouse and just then drag it down and then release. So we've got the Pangolin is on top of our adjustment layer. Now select that Pangolin layer, make sure you've got that layer selected that has the image on it. Come over here to the far left, down the bottom there, and click on your drawing tool, shape tool. Now your shape tool may look like the rectangle. If you hold your mouse down you'll see that you get these other selections, so then select custom shape tool. Remember, pause regularly. Once that is selected, come up here to the top right where you have a whole lot of different shapes to choose from. Now when you click on it, it may look a little bit different. You may just have something that looks like that, only a few to choose from. So clicking on this little cogwheel here, come down here till you see all, and then click OK. Then you'll see all of the options that are available for the different shapes. So choosing one that you like, and this is your experiment, so you can choose any that you like. I'm going to go today with this shape, and then I'm going to come over here, click and drag and make a selection in the middle there. So I'm pretty happy with that one. Come up here to the top left and click on the move tool, which will then release it and fix it into place. And then the next step, we need to, with that shape layer, click on it once and then drag it down just below Pangolin layer, like so. The next step is to click on the Pangolin layer, so we'll make sure you're on the Pangolin layer now, and we're going to do a right click with your mouse. So right click and then come up here to create clipping mask. Now come over here to the shape layer, then with your move selection tool selected, come down here and click on that shape and move it around until you get it into position where you like it. So I quite like it there. And then the next step is I want to put a border around that shape to make it stand out a little bit better. So doing a right click now and then come up to blending options. Now I'm doing a right click on that shape layer, come up to blending options, and then from this menu, and I'll just move it over a little bit to the right so that you can see here, we've got an option over here for stroke. Now stroke is that outline border, so make sure that it's ticked, click on the word stroke, and then come over here and we'll adjust that border. You can make it whatever you like. I'm going to make it 8 so it's really obvious. It doesn't have to be black, we can change that as well. So if we click the color there, you can make it any color that you like. So again, experimenting, this is your experiment, and then click on OK. The other thing that you can do is position that line, so we can have it on the outside of the image, we can have it on the inside of that outline of the image, and we can have it centered on that outline of the image, the shape. So when you're happy with those selections, click on OK, and there you are. The next step is you might like to, if you're happy with a position of where the animal is within that shape, is to use the crop tool. So coming over here to the left of the toolbar, so click on the crop tool, and then using the handlebar here in the bottom right, I'm just going to drag that up. You can resize it to whatever size that you like. And when you're happy with that, come up here and click on the move tool and click on crop, and that saves it for you. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Control plus on the keyboard will do that. Now the next thing I promised I would show you is in how to add a shadow to this. So coming back over to our shape, double click on that, do a right click on shape, and go back up to blending options, and there is an option down the bottom here for a drop shadow. So click on drop shadow, and here you can adjust that shadow, and it's not very clear against this background that I've chosen, so it wasn't a very good choice there. So I'll just make the distance a little bit wider, and then it's a bit more obvious. There we go, that's left better. When you're happy with that, click on OK, and then you've got a shadow. Now if you'd like to change the background to just a plain colour, we can do that. So coming over here to the bottom right hand corner, and we're going to click on that pattern fill layer, and we're going to add a new one. So coming down here to create new fill or adjustment layer, and click on solid colour, and then choose the colour that you'd like, and click on OK, and it's as easy as that. If you don't like the previous one, we can delete that too. Come down here to the bottom right and click on delete layer. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and now you can experiment with some other images and be creative.